Well, I'm here at the airport and my flight is delayed, so I thought I might as well do a little vlogging. And I think we'll talk a little bit about trail names and the trail community. So I've heard a lot of people talk about trail names, and for the most part, people think they're, fun. A few people, I think maybe Kyle from Kyle Hates Hiking, has made fun of people's trail names, possibly, or some people think it's just a little bit hokey and don't take it too seriously. In fact, I don't take it too seriously, but it's still kind of fun. And actually, I think it sort of touches back on one of the main reasons that I really like hiking and getting out and being a part of the trail community. In a way, the trail is really kind of a great equalizer. Everybody's pretty much the same, no matter what their backgrounds are, and people come from all different types of backgrounds, from all around the world, but all different types of backgrounds. But when you're on the trail, it's the trail sort of puts everybody sort of on the same plane, and I think allows us to relate to each other in ways that maybe in the so-called real world that we might not be able to do. All kinds of people are on the trail, and people from all around the world, people of all ages, people with various religious and political beliefs. And when you're on the trail, you really become a part of that, the tramily, and all those things that might be barriers to your relationship in the real world, or all those barriers are taken down, and it allows you to relate to one another in a little more open way. And and I know for me, one of the reasons I like getting out on the trail, this last summer I did the Camino de Santiago, and one of the nice things was just sort of getting away from a lot of the political discourse that's going on in the United States, and really not just in the United States, but around the world these days, and the polarization that's going on now just makes it really difficult to really make a good human connection with some people that might have different beliefs than you do, politically or religiously or whatever. So I think the trail is an excellent way for you, an excellent opportunity for people to sort of put down their guard and set all that other stuff aside and relate to one another on a one-to-one basis and overcome what might be some of their differences in beliefs. So, and I think that having a trail name it really sort of signifies this new world or alternative world or new community that we're now embraced in, and allows us to make a different type of connection. And also for me, there's a kind of a personal connection to the whole idea of discovering a new name for myself. And it all starts back to when I was a small child and just entering kindergarten for the first time. And I was really excited about the prospect of starting school. And have an older sister who had already, been into school for a few years and was doing really well. She was always getting really straight A's, and I was really anxious to, I guess, follow in her footsteps and arrive at school and show the teacher and the world exactly what all I had to offer, and I was going to be just like my big sister in excelling in my education. And I remember my mother, just before I headed off for my first day of kindergarten, sitting me down. I think she could probably tell that I was a little anxious and ready to go. And she looked at me and she said, "Now, Billy, just listen to the teacher and do everything she says and follow all of her directions, and everything will be just fine." So I took her advice and headed off to school. Now, when I arrived in the classroom, there were lots of other kids in there, and I met my teacher for the first time, and she gave everybody an assigned seat, and we were all sitting down. And since this was kindergarten, I think the very first thing she had us doing was just sort of some little drawings. It was something. So we were working on some little artworks, and as we were working on our very first project, the teacher was calling everyone up to her desk one at a time, and I think she was just taking care of some, first day. Let's wait for that. Okay, so the teacher was calling everybody up one at a time, and I think she was just taking care of some first day administrative things, checking with the people, getting maybe organizing her grade book. Who knows what she was doing, but she was calling each person up one at a time. And, I was following my mother's advice. She told me, now, Billy, just listen to the teacher and follow her instructions, and everything will be fine. And so I was sitting there, and she was calling people up. She would call Susie up, and Susie would walk up there, and Johnny would go up there, and one at a time, all these people were going up there, and it was a pretty good sized class, and she didn't actually get around to calling my name, I thought, and so I assumed that she'll get to me the next day. But things are going well. I was really doing a great job on the little drawing that I was doing, and I thought everything was going all right, and she was calling all these people, these other students up, and they would go up there, and I felt like, well, they're doing pretty good too. I'm in a pretty good class. But I was really concerned about a little boy named William. She kept calling William's name, and he wasn't responding. And I was looking around the room trying to figure out who the heck this William kid was, and I was really concerned about him. And but like I said, she never really got around to, I thought, calling my name. And but at the end of the day, she came by, and she pinned a little note to my shirt, and I was certain there was probably some note of praise for my mother about what an excellent student I am, even just on the first day. And so I, with that note pinned to my shirt, I headed home. So I get home, and my mother notices the little note pinned to my shirt right away, and I'm really excited, and because I'm sure that it's just notes of praise about what an excellent student I am on my first day of school. And so my mother takes a note, takes off my shirt, and takes a moment to read it, and then she looks at me and says, "Billy, I have something to tell you. Your name is William." So, yeah, and that was really indicative of how the rest of my education was going to go for a few years. My sister was a stellar student, and for multiple reasons, I always seemed to find ways to stumble and not quite make the mark. But yeah, that's is my first sort of childhood memory about what it means to have a name and identifying with a certain name, and then what it's like to all of a sudden find out that you also have another name. So yeah, that's sort of what it makes me think of the prospect of coming up with a new name on the trail, a new trail name. Kind of brings me back to way back when the idea of a name was kind of confusing to me. So trail names, what exactly are they? How do you get a trail name? And, you know, from what I'm discovering, there really are no hard, fast rules. I think some people give themselves a trail name, but I think traditionally it's something that your tramily or your trail community typically give you, and it's usually related to some sort of event or something that they found interesting about you or unique about you, related to your experience on the trail. So yeah, I don't really have a trail name yet, but and I'm not going to necessarily assign myself a trail name, because I think it'll be more fun to see what other people might think would be an appropriate trail name for me. And you can, you know, change your trail name, and there's no hard, fast rules to it. But you know, what will people, when they see me on the trail, you know, what might stand out? Will I do something silly and my trail name, you know, end up being somehow connected to that, or what? It'll be interesting. So so if somebody suggests a trail name for you, and you know, you can embrace it, or if you're not necessarily interested in that trail name, you know, just wait around and maybe somebody else will suggest another trail name to you. Or, you know, if you really want to have a specific trail name for yourself and name yourself, I guess that's allowed too. But either way, I think I really like the idea of trail names, because it does sort of signify this new community that you're in, and the demolition of all the barriers that maybe in our everyday life keep us from making connections with other people. So yeah, I think trail names are a good thing. Okay, so some of you may be asking, what the heck am I doing at the airport? I'm actually at the Houston airport, making a connection, and my connection was delayed, and so I've stopped to get a little pizza and wine. But why the heck am I at the airport? Because I don't actually start the hiking the Appalachian Trail for another 55 days from now. But actually, my adventure for this year has already begun. I'm going to be actually, I'm heading to Dallas now to pick up some supplies and things that I've had ordered and had shipped to my sister's house. But before I go to the trail, in just about 3 days, I'm going to be getting on another flight and heading to Australia and spending 3 weeks in Australia, and then from Australia, I'm going to take another flight to New Zealand and spend about 3 weeks there. And then as soon as I head back from New Zealand, I'm going straight to the Appalachian Trail, and I'll be checking into at Amicalola Falls on March 12th, and just hiking up to the lodge. And I want to spend the night in the lodge. And then so officially starting the trail on March 13th. So yeah, that's what I'm doing in the airport right now. So I'm eating some airport food, and a really expensive pizza, and an extremely expensive glass of wine, because I'm paying airport prices for this stuff. But yeah, my adventure actually for this, my 2024 adventure has already begun, even though I am, you know, 55 days or so away from actually setting foot on the Appalachian Trail. So we'll see you all out there. Happy trails.